friends, welcome back to my channel, All Things Keto with Kelsey. I'm Kelsey and I'm so glad you're here. In my January update video, I shared with you that I had recently started a keto support group with a friend from church. And I think what I would like to do is I would like to come on here every time we have a meeting and just kind of do a brief recap of what we covered during that meeting. Just kind of like some things that stuck out to me as very helpful, or things that we discussed, or maybe something that someone said just like really hit home. So I just was hoping to kind of give you guys a quick recap of what that meeting looked like. Okay, so the first thing that we talked about was our why, and I wanted to have everybody just kind of think really deeply about what their why was. In a podcast that I had recently listened to, I heard that your why can't be a surface level why. So why, like, I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to, fit into a certain size of clothes, or I just want to feel better, or whatever. Like, your why has to be something that's going to shake you to the core if you don't get there. For example, cancer runs rampant in my family on both sides, my mom and my dad's side. And I actually have a genetic mutation that predisposes me to pancreatic cancer and melanoma, or skin cancer. But something that I've heard in the keto space, they talk a lot about how genetics is the gun. Genetics is what holds the gun, but epigenetics, which is lifestyle or environmental or lifestyle things that you kind of have control over, epigenetics is what pulls the trigger. And that just really motivates me to do my best to take care of the body that God has given me. I would love nothing more than to see my kids grow up and graduate and get married and have kids of their own. I want to meet my grandkids. My mom died when she was 48. I think my mom died when she was 48. And she never got to meet any of her grandkids. She didn't get to see me graduate from high school or college, and she didn't see me get married. So my big why is to take care of my body so that I can be as healthy as possible and be there for my kids and my family and my husband as the time goes on. Number two, we just kind of quickly went over the basics of starting keto for the first time or starting over again. We talked about 20 total carbs every day, only 20 total carbs. Then we talked about prioritizing protein, prioritizing good, healthy fats, and then making sure that we got electrolytes in so that we didn't kind of have to deal with the keto flu symptoms, the dizziness, the tired, the grumpy, the headache, all the things, right? The carb withdrawal. We just talked about the basics that help us get started. And I introduced something that I'm calling Fasting February, something that the fasting method, Megan Ramos and Nadia Padawana introduced last year, and I don't know if they did that this year, but I'm on last year's podcast right now. But I wanted to challenge our group to get into, really, the fasting windows would be more like 18, 16, 14 hour eating, fasting windows. So I wanted them to kind of commit to, like, okay, I'm going to stop eating at this time, or I'm not going to start eating until this time. Just like be particular about like when, like how long we're fasting and what our eating window looks like. I tried to encourage everyone to try doing a longer fast each week. So like maybe we started a 24-hour fast and see how that goes. And then the next week, maybe we'll push it to like a 36-hour fast. And then my hope for myself anyway is to try to get to a 72-hour fast by the end of February. So we'll see how that goes. I did split it up into 5 weeks. And so basically it's like a few days in January and then a few days in March at the end. So 5 total weeks instead of a 4-week thing. We talked about being encouraging to one another as we are all kind of going through the same process of learning to fast, and especially that fasting is a muscle. And if you don't exercise it, it doesn't get stronger. So we just have to kind of push through the discomfort of fasting to kind of make it to the next hour. But we talked about if you're really feeling horrible, don't overdo it, but just take it slow. Just keep repeating just keep going over it again and again, and eventually you're gonna find something that works well for you. So it was a good conversation, and we'll have to keep you guys updated on how that goes. Basically talked about our why, we talked about the basics of keto, and then we talked about prioritizing fasting in the month of February, which was really cool. So that's pretty much what we talked about in our keto group last week, and it was really a fun time to get together with people who were like-minded nutritionally and had similar goals as me, and it was just fun. It was really enjoyable to just sit and just talk about some of the things that I'm passionate about. So I'm really looking forward to continuing that on. Again, like I said, we're hoping to do this twice a month, most of the months. And so my hope is that I'll be able to update you guys on what we talked about every week. So follow along for more, like and comment if you appreciated this video, or if you want to see more, let me know. Or like this, let me know. And as always, I hope wherever you are, you're having a wonderful day today, and I'll see you soon, friends.